Alright, for today's video, I'm going to show you all how to make your own envelopes. Feel free to pause the video at any point and or check the description for instructions. Without further ado, let's get started. To make this first envelope, you will need a 10 by 10 inch sheet of cardstock, a pencil, scissors, a glue stick, a scoring tool, and a ruler. Optional, a corner and notch punch. Start by labeling all four sides of your sheet. With your ruler, mark 4 1/8 inches and 4 7/8 inches on sides 1 and 3. On sides 2 and 4, mark 5 1/4 inches and 5 7/8 inches. Then on side 1, connect the first point to the second point on side 2. Then from the second point on side 1, connect it to the first point on side 4. You should end up with a small triangle like this. Now on side 2, connect the first point to the second point on side 3, and then connect the first point on side 3 to the second point on side 4. You should now have a total of 4 little triangles. These are going to be the notches. To cut out the notches, you can use a notch punch like this one here. I got it from Michael's. Just make sure it's all lined up. But if you don't have one, you could just use scissors instead. Next, you're going to fold in your flaps using the drawn lines as your guide. I'm using this tool by Cards to score. It's a 3-in-1 tool. It scores, it smooths, and curls your paper. I got this from Michael's. If you don't have this scoring tool, that's okay. Just be careful with folding in your flaps. Lastly, using the bottom flap, lightly mark on the sides where to apply glue. Alternatives for a glue stick can be double-sided tape or self-adhesive tape. Fold the bottom onto the sides with glue and you have a finished envelope. Here's another one I made using the notch and corner punch. I messed up a little cutting off one of the notches. Oh well. These envelopes can fit up to 5 1/8 by 7 inch cards or A7 cards. The next envelope will be similar to the previous one, only you'll be needing an 8 by 8 inch sheet of cardstock. On sides 1 and 3, mark 3 1/8 inches and 3 7/8 inches. And then on sides 2 and 4, mark 4 1/8 inches and 4 7/8 inches. Here's what my paper looks like all labeled. For me, it makes connecting lines easier. I've included a guide on where to connect the points, so feel free to pause the video to view it. Just remember, on side 1, connect the first point to the second point on side 2. Then second point on side 1, connect to the first point on side 4. Both lines should cross. That's the key for connecting the points, or marks. Here I'm cutting out the notches, which are these small triangles. You got it all inside of you. Then I'm scoring and smoothing out the paper. This just helps with folding. You don't necessarily have to do this step. This is just personal preference. Also optional, I'm using the corner notch for the top and bottom flap, glue or tape, and you're done. This envelope fits a 4 1/4 inch by 5 1/2 inch card or a A2 card. The last envelope I consider the easiest to make. You will need an 8 1/2 by 11 inch sheet of cardstock, a pencil, a glue stick, a scoring tool, scissors, and a ruler. Turn your paper horizontal. With your ruler, mark 2 inches and 7 1/4 inches. Then mark 3/8 inches on both sides vertically. Starting from the marks you made, take your ruler and make straight lines. You should end up with something like this. Next, cut out all 4 corners. At the intersection, cut at an angle. You're going to be left with something like this. Then fold in the sides and top and bottom flaps. I'm using my Fiskars tool once again to score and smooth. Now I'm mapping out the sides that I'm going to apply glue. As I mentioned before, you can use double-sided tape or self-adhesive tape as an alternative. Finally, fold in the bottom and press. You can use your fingers, or you can also use a tool to smooth them out. We're done! This envelope fits up to an A7 card. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope these tutorials were helpful and you get to try them out. Give this video a thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe. Good luck and happy crafting. Bye!